The rain fell steadily that November evening, turning the city streets into rivers of reflected light. Sarah Mitchell stood beneath the awning of the downtown office building, her daughter Emma's small hand tucked safely in hers. At 6 years old, Emma clutched her worn teddy bear close, its fur matted from countless nights of comfort. Sarah checked her phone again. The Uber should have been here 5 minutes ago. She'd just finished her interview for an administrative position at Henderson Technologies, and while it had gone well, she couldn't shake the worry that always followed her these days. Single motherhood had a way of making everything feel urgent, every dollar precious, every opportunity critical. "Mama, I'm cold," Emma whispered. Sarah pulled her daughter closer, wrapping her thin cardigan around both of them. "Just a few more minutes, sweetheart. Our ride will be here soon." That's when the sleek black SUV pulled up to the curb. Through the rain-streaked window, Sarah could make out a man in a dark suit behind the wheel. She glanced at her phone. The app showed her driver was nearby. This had to be him. She opened the rear door quickly, ushering Emma inside where the warm air and soft leather seats felt like luxury itself. Sarah slid in beside her daughter, pulling the door shut against the cold. "Thank you so much for coming," Sarah said, settling Emma into the seat. "We really appreciate it. I know the weather's terrible tonight." The man behind the wheel turned slightly, and Sarah noticed his kind eyes in the rearview mirror. He appeared to be in his early 40s, with graying temples and a gentle expression that immediately put her at ease. "No trouble at all," he said softly. "Where are we headed?" Sarah gave him the address of her apartment across town, in a neighborhood that was safe but far from fashionable. As they pulled into traffic, she noticed how smoothly he drove, how carefully he navigated the wet streets. "Pretty bear you've got there," he said to Emma, his voice warm. Emma hugged Mr. Buttons tighter and smiled shyly. "His name is Mr. Buttons. He's very old." "The best friends usually are," the man replied. "I had a stuffed elephant when I was young. My grandmother gave it to me. I still have it, actually." Sarah found herself smiling. Not many people took the time to talk to Emma like this, to see her as a real person with thoughts and feelings. She leaned back, finally allowing herself to relax after the tension of the interview. "How is your day?" he asked, meeting Sarah's eyes in the mirror. "Long," she admitted, "but hopefully good. I just had a job interview." "I hope it went well for you." "Me too," Sarah said quietly. Then, surprising herself, she continued, "It's been a difficult year. My daughter and we're on our own now, and every opportunity matters." He nodded slowly, not with pity, but with understanding. "I know something about difficult years. They have a way of showing us what we're made of." They drove in comfortable silence for a while, the rain drumming gently on the roof. Emma had fallen asleep against Sarah's shoulder, Mr. Buttons tucked under her chin. "She's beautiful," the man said softly. "You're doing a good job." "I can tell." Sarah felt unexpected tears prick her eyes. It had been so long since anyone had acknowledged how hard she was trying, how much she was juggling. Most days she felt invisible or, worse, judged. "Thank you," she whispered. "That means more than you know." As they neared her apartment building, Sarah felt a pang of embarrassment at its shabby exterior. But if he noticed, he gave no indication. "This is us," she said, gently waking Emma. Before she could reach for her wallet, he turned to face her fully for the first time. "Please don't worry about the fare. Consider it taken care of." "Oh, but I couldn't." "You already have," he said with a smile. "You reminded me tonight why I do what I do. That's payment enough." Sarah didn't understand what he meant, but she saw the sincerity in his expression. "You're very kind." "Thank you." She helped Emma out of the car, gathering their things. Just before closing the door, she turned back. "I hope you have a good evening." "I already have," he replied. "Good luck with that interview." Monday morning arrived with a flutter of nervous energy. Sarah had received the call on Friday. She'd gotten the job. Today was her first day at Henderson Technologies. She dropped Emma at school early, kissed her goodbye 3 times, and made her way downtown on the bus. The office building looked even more impressive in the morning light than it had that rainy evening. The HR director, Mrs. Chen, met her in the lobby with a warm smile. Welcome aboard, Sarah. We're starting the day with an all-staff meeting. The entire company is gathering to meet our new CEO. Sarah's pulse quickened. New CEO. Yes, David Henderson just took over from his father last week. It's a big transition for the company. Come on. Everyone's assembling in the main conference hall. Sarah followed Mrs. Chen into a large, modern space filled with employees. She found a seat near the back, trying to calm her nerves. A new job was always overwhelming, and now there was a new CEO to impress as well. The room quieted as a man walked onto the small stage at the front. Sarah's breath caught. It was him, the Uber driver from that rainy night, except he wasn't an Uber driver at all. David Henderson stood before the assembled staff with the same gentle presence she remembered, the same kind eyes. As he began to speak about his vision for the company, about treating employees as family and creating a culture of mutual respect and support, Sarah understood what he had meant that night. I believe that how we treat people when we don't have to says everything about who we are, he was saying. Every person in this building matters. Every person in this city matters. We may work in technology, but we're in the business of humanity. After the meeting, as people filtered out, Mrs. Chen approached with David at her side. Mr. Henderson, this is Sarah Mitchell, one of our new administrative assistants starting today. Recognition lit his face immediately, followed by a warm, genuine smile. Mrs. Mitchell and I have actually met before. Sarah felt her face flush. I'm so sorry, I thought you were... He raised a hand gently. Please, no apologies. That evening was a gift to me. Sometimes we need reminding of what's real and what matters. He paused, his expression growing more serious. How is Emma? And Mr. Buttons? The fact that he remembered her daughter's name, her teddy bear's name, brought tears to Sarah's eyes. They're both very well. Thank you. Over the following weeks, Sarah discovered that David Henderson was exactly who he appeared to be. A man who led with kindness, who remembered people's names and their stories, who believed that success meant nothing if it came at the cost of human decency. He'd driven himself that night, she later learned, because his driver was ill and he'd insisted the man go home to rest. The expensive SUV was his, not a rideshare vehicle. But he'd seen a woman and child waiting in the rain and he'd simply stopped to help. Years would pass. Emma would grow up with Henderson Technologies' scholarship fund supporting her education. Sarah would rise through the company, eventually becoming David's executive assistant, his trusted colleague, and, in time, his dear friend. But she would never forget that rainy November evening when a stranger showed her kindness without knowing who she was or what she could offer in return. When someone saw her struggle and chose to lighten it simply because he could, it reminded her that grace exists in this world, often in the most unexpected moments, offered by the most unexpected people, and that the measure of a person isn't found in their title or their wealth, but in how they treat others when there's nothing to gain but the quiet satisfaction of having done something good.